Unveiling Shadows, Suck My Ass Gay Frogs. Table of Contents. Introduction. Chapter 1, The Fascination with Government Conspiracies. 1.1 Understanding Conspiracy Theories. 1.2 Exploring the Frog Transformation Theory. 1.3 Objectives and Structure of the book. Chapter 2, The Symbolic Significance of Frogs. 2.1 Frogs in History and Mythology. 2.2 Cultural Representations of Frogs. 2.3 Frogs in Scientific Research and Environmental Studies. Chapter 3, The Rise of the Frog Transformation Conspiracy. 3.1 Emergence and Spread of the Theory. 3.2 Influential Figures and Organizations. 3.3 Role of Social Media in Promoting the Conspiracy. Chapter 4, Unraveling the Government's Motives. 4.1 Historical Context of Government Conspiracies. 4.2 Motivations for Controlling Nature. 4.3 Examining Potential Benefits and Drawbacks. Chapter 5, Hormonal Disruption and its Effects. 5.1 Understanding Endocrine Disruptors. 5.2 Impacts of Chemicals on Wildlife. 5.3 Scientific Consensus and Controversies. Chapter 6, Chemicals, Water, and the Environment. 6.1 Common Chemicals and Water Sources. 6.2 Effects of Pollutants on Amphibians. 6.3 Linking water contamination to human health concerns. Chapter 7, The Role of Government Agencies. 7.1 Overview of relevant government agencies. 7.2 Regulation and monitoring of water quality. 7.3 Allegations of collusion and cover-ups. Chapter 8, Media Influence and Manipulation. 8.1 The Power of Media in Shaping Opinion. 8.2 Analyzing Media Narratives. 8.3 Strategies to Discredit or Dismiss Conspiracy Claims. Chapter 9, Debunking and Skepticism. 9.1 Scientific Responses to the Conspiracy Theory. 9.2 Critiques of Methodology and Lack of Evidence. 9.3 Logical Fallacies and Conspiracy Arguments. Chapter 10, Public Perception and Cultural Impact. 10.1 Attitudes towards Government Conspiracies. 10.2 Memes, Humor, and Popular Culture References. 10.3 Impact on Trust and Faith in Institutions. Conclusion, reflecting on the Frog Transformation Conspiracy. Appendix. Glossary of Terms. Additional resources for further exploration. Introduction. Welcome to the intriguing world of government conspiracies. Throughout history, humanity has been captivated by tales of secret plots, hidden agendas, and covert operations carried out by those in power. These narratives often revolve around suspicions of government control and manipulation, with the aim of uncovering the truth behind the facade. In this comprehensive book, we delve into a particularly peculiar conspiracy theory that has gained significant attention in recent years, the notion that the government is intentionally turning frogs gay. While this theory may sound far-fetched, it serves as a compelling case study that highlights the complexities of conspiracy culture, media influence, and public perception. Chapter by chapter, we embark on an intellectual journey to unravel the enigma of the frog transformation agenda. Our exploration begins by examining the allure of conspiracy theories and the psychological factors that contribute to their widespread fascination. From there, we delve into the symbolic significance of frogs throughout history, ranging from mythologies to scientific research. We then dive headfirst into the rise of the frog transformation theory, exploring its origins, influential figures, and the role of social media in its dissemination. By understanding the motivations that may drive governments to control or manipulate nature, we seek to shed light on the potential benefits and drawbacks associated with such actions. Science takes center stage as we delve into the realm of hormonal disruption, exploring the effects of endocrine disruptors on wildlife and the controversies surrounding this field of study. We scrutinize the presence of chemicals in water sources, their impact on amphibian populations, and the alarming link between water contamination and human health concerns. As we progress, we analyze the role of government agencies tasked with regulating water quality and monitoring environmental health, contemplating allegations of collusion and cover-ups. Media influence and manipulation come under scrutiny, examining how narratives are crafted, disseminated, and sometimes used to discredit or dismiss conspiracy claims. Debunking and skepticism take their rightful place in this investigation as we critically evaluate scientific responses to the frog transformation theory and examine the logical fallacies often employed within conspiracy arguments. We also reflect on public perception and the cultural impact of government conspiracies, exploring the effects on trust, faith in institutions, and the emergence of humorous memes and references. In conclusion, we reflect on the complexities surrounding the frog transformation conspiracy, emphasizing the importance of critical thinking, skepticism, and scientific evidence in navigating the realm of conspiracies. We propose ways to foster transparency, enhance science communication, and encourage active citizen engagement to ensure a more informed and discerning society. Prepare to embark on a thought-provoking journey through the twists and turns of the government's alleged quest to turn frogs gay. Let us unravel the layers of this conspiracy theory and explore its implications for our understanding of power, truth, and the complexities of the modern world. Chapter 1: The Fascination with Government Conspiracies. 1.1 Understanding Conspiracy Theories. Conspiracy theories have long captured the imagination of individuals seeking hidden truths behind the actions of governments and powerful entities. In this chapter, we delve into the psychology behind conspiracy beliefs, examining the reasons why some people are drawn to these narratives and how they shape our understanding of the world. Conspiracy theories typically revolve around the notion that a small, secretive group of individuals is working covertly to achieve their goals, often at the expense of the general population. These theories provide alternative explanations for events or phenomena that deviate from mainstream narratives, challenging established institutions and power structures. Psychological research has shed light on the factors that contribute to the appeal of conspiracy theories. One such factor is the human tendency to seek patterns and find meaning in complex or uncertain situations. Conspiracy theories offer a sense of order and control by attributing events to intentional actions, even if those explanations lack concrete evidence. Additionally, conspiracy theories can fulfill psychological needs, such as the desire for certainty and control in an unpredictable world. Believing in a grand conspiracy can provide a sense of understanding and offer a framework for interpreting otherwise chaotic events. It can also foster a sense of empowerment, as individuals believe they possess privileged knowledge that is hidden from the masses. Cognitive biases and heuristics play a significant role in the formation and maintenance of conspiracy beliefs. Confirmation bias, for instance, leads individuals to selectively seek and interpret information that confirms their pre-existing beliefs, while ignoring or dismissing contradictory evidence. This bias can create echo chambers where like-minded individuals reinforce each other's beliefs, further strengthening their conviction in the conspiracy. Moreover, individuals may fall victim to the illusory pattern perception, where they perceive connections and patterns that are not actually present. This cognitive bias can lead to the attribution of causality where none exists, fueling conspiracy theories. Social and cultural factors also contribute to the popularity of conspiracy theories. Disillusionment with authorities, mistrust of institutions, and perceived secrecy surrounding decision-making processes can erode public confidence and make people more susceptible to believing in conspiracies. Additionally, the democratization of information through the internet and social media has facilitated the rapid spread and amplification of conspiracy narratives, reaching larger audiences than ever before. It is important to note that while conspiracy theories can be captivating and offer alternative perspectives, they often lack empirical evidence and scientific support. Critical thinking, skepticism, and a careful evaluation of evidence are essential when examining conspiracy theories. In the context of the frog transformation conspiracy, understanding the underlying psychological factors and cognitive biases that contribute to the belief in government conspiracies will provide a framework for analyzing its appeal and impact on public discourse. As we move forward in this book, we will explore the specific elements of the frog transformation theory, assess its validity, and examine the broader implications of conspiracy theories on society, media, and public trust. By doing so, we hope to foster a deeper understanding of the fascination with government conspiracies and the complex dynamics that surround them. 1.2 Exploring the frog transformation theory. In this section, we will delve into the specific conspiracy theory that claims the government is deliberately turning frogs gay. This theory gained prominence through various channels, including online forums, social media platforms, and alternative media outlets. While it may sound outlandish at first, it is important to understand the origins and arguments behind this particular conspiracy theory. The frog transformation theory posits that government agencies, such as the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, or other clandestine organizations, are intentionally introducing chemicals into the environment that alter the hormones of amphibians, specifically causing them to exhibit same-sex mating behaviors. Proponents of this theory argue that these actions serve a larger agenda, which may involve population control, the disruption of natural ecosystems, or even experiments in mind control. It is essential to note that the scientific community widely rejects this theory due to the lack of empirical evidence supporting the claim that governments are intentionally causing changes in frog behavior or sexuality. The theory has its roots in misunderstandings or misinterpretations of scientific research, often cherry-picking isolated studies or anecdotal observations while disregarding the larger body of scientific knowledge on amphibian biology and behavior. The confusion surrounding the frog transformation theory may stem from a misunderstanding of the complex factors that influence amphibian populations. Amphibians, including frogs, are indeed facing numerous challenges in their habitats, including pollution, habitat loss, climate change, and the spread of diseases such as chytridiomycosis. These factors can have a significant impact on amphibian populations and may contribute to behavioral changes or population declines. However, attributing these changes solely to intentional government actions is not supported by scientific evidence. Furthermore, the theory often misrepresents the nature of hormones and their effects. Hormones play a crucial role in regulating various physiological processes, including reproduction and behavior, in animals, including frogs. However, the presence of certain chemicals in the environment, known as endocrine disruptors, can interfere with hormone function. While there is evidence of endocrine disruptors affecting wildlife, including amphibians, the focus is on studying and mitigating the impacts rather than supporting the frog transformation theory. Scientific consensus asserts that amphibians, like other organisms, exhibit a wide range of reproductive behaviors influenced by complex interactions between genetics, environmental factors, and social cues. Same-sex mating behaviors, including male frogs exhibiting amplexus, mating embrace, with other males, can occur naturally and are attributed to factors such as population density, hormonal imbalances, or environmental stressors. In summary, the frog transformation theory lacks scientific credibility and is primarily rooted in misinformation, misinterpretation of scientific findings, and a tendency to attribute complex phenomena to intentional government actions. While it may have gained attention within certain communities, critical evaluation of the evidence and expert consensus demonstrates that the theory does not hold up to scientific scrutiny. As we continue our exploration, we will further examine the scientific understanding of hormonal disruption, the impact of chemicals in the environment, and the factors influencing amphibian populations. By doing so, we aim to provide a more comprehensive understanding of the complexities surrounding the frog transformation theory and its place within the broader landscape of government conspiracies. 1.3 Objectives and structure of the book. The primary objective of this book is to critically examine the conspiracy theories suggesting that the government is intentionally turning frogs gay. By undertaking a comprehensive exploration of this theory, we aim to provide readers with a nuanced understanding of the factors involved, including the psychological appeal of conspiracy theories, the symbolic significance of frogs, and the scientific realities surrounding amphibian biology and behavior. Throughout the chapters that follow, we will navigate through various dimensions of the frog transformation conspiracy. We will explore the historical and cultural significance of frogs, investigating their portrayal in mythology and folklore. This exploration will set the stage for understanding the symbolic connotations associated with frogs and their relevance to conspiracy narratives. Next, we will dive into the rise of the frog transformation theory, tracing its origins and examining the influential figures and organizations associated with its dissemination. We will also analyze the role of social media in spreading and amplifying this conspiracy theory, considering the impact of online communities and the rapid dissemination of information in the digital age. To provide a comprehensive analysis, we will investigate the motivations that are often ascribed to governments in their alleged quest to control nature. This exploration will delve into historical contexts of government conspiracies, exploring potential benefits and drawbacks of manipulating environmental factors and the extent to which these motivations align with empirical evidence. Understanding the scientific basis is crucial in evaluating the validity of the frog transformation theory. Therefore, we will explore the concept of hormonal disruption, including the presence of endocrine disruptors in the environment and their effects on wildlife. By critically evaluating scientific consensus and controversies surrounding these topics, we aim to shed light on the actual impacts of chemicals on amphibians and their behaviors. Government agencies play a pivotal role in environmental regulation and monitoring. Consequently, we will analyze the responsibilities and actions of relevant government agencies, such as the EPA, in relation to water quality control and the allegations of collusion or cover-ups associated with the frog transformation theory. Media influence and manipulation are important aspects to consider in the dissemination and reception of conspiracy theories. Thus, we will scrutinize the role of media in shaping public opinion, analyzing the narratives surrounding the frog transformation theory, and examining strategies used to discredit or dismiss conspiracy claims. Additionally, we will delve into the scientific responses to the conspiracy theory, addressing critiques of methodology, the lack of evidence, and logical fallacies that may be present in the arguments supporting the theory. Skepticism and critical thinking will be emphasized as crucial tools in evaluating the validity of conspiracy claims. The societal impact of conspiracy theories cannot be underestimated. Therefore, we will explore public perception, cultural references, and the consequences of these narratives on trust and faith in institutions. We will examine the broader implications for society, including the role of humor, popular culture references, and the effects of conspiracy beliefs on societal cohesion and public discourse. Finally, in the conclusion, we will reflect on the intricacies of the frog transformation conspiracy, drawing upon the insights gained throughout the book. We will highlight the importance of critical thinking, evidence-based reasoning, and scientific literacy in navigating the realm of conspiracy theories and evaluating their impact on society. This book aims to provide readers with a well-rounded understanding of the frog transformation conspiracy, its underlying psychological appeal, the scientific realities, and the broader implications for society. By engaging with these topics, we hope to foster a deeper appreciation for critical analysis, scientific consensus, and the complexities surrounding government conspiracies. Chapter 2: The Symbolic Significance of Frogs. 2.1 Frogs in History and Mythology. Frogs have held significant symbolic meaning in various cultures throughout history. Their presence in mythologies, folklore, and religious traditions has imbued them with rich symbolism and metaphorical associations. Understanding the historical and cultural contexts in which frogs have been revered or feared provides valuable insights into their symbolic significance. In ancient Egyptian mythology, the frog was associated with the goddess Hecate, who was depicted with the head of a frog or as a frog itself. Hecate was the goddess of fertility and childbirth, and her association with the frog represented the transformative power of creation. The annual inundation of the Nile River, which brought fertility to the land, was believed to be a result of Hecate's presence. The frogs symbolized the life-giving waters and the cycle of birth, renewal, and transformation. In Mesopotamian mythology, the frog was associated with the goddess Tiamat, who represented the primordial waters of chaos. Tiamat was depicted as a monstrous creature, often depicted with a frog-like appearance. The frogs symbolized the untamed, chaotic forces of nature, emphasizing the dualistic nature of creation and destruction. In Greek mythology, frogs were associated with the god Dionysus, the god of wine, ecstasy, and revelry. Frogs were believed to be sacred to Dionysus, and they were often depicted in scenes of his revelries. The amphibian nature of frogs, capable of living both in water and on land, symbolized the connection between the earthly and the divine realms. In Chinese culture, the frog holds auspicious symbolism. The three-legged money frog, also known as the Jin Chan, is a popular symbol of wealth and prosperity. It is often depicted with a coin in its mouth and is believed to bring good fortune and abundance to those who possess it. The frog's association with water also represents the flow of wealth and prosperity. In Native American traditions, frogs are often associated with cleansing, purification, and transformation. The transformational nature of frogs, undergoing metamorphosis from tadpoles to adults, serves as a powerful metaphor for personal growth and spiritual evolution. Frogs are seen as guides in the journey of self-discovery and navigating life's transitions. The symbolic significance of frogs extends beyond mythology and folklore. In scientific and ecological contexts, frogs are considered indicator species, representing the health of ecosystems. Their sensitivity to environmental changes, such as pollution and habitat degradation, makes them important bioindicators. Monitoring frog populations can provide valuable insights into the overall health of ecosystems and serve as a call to action for conservation efforts. Understanding the historical and cultural symbolism of frogs allows us to appreciate their significance beyond their physical characteristics. It provides a lens through which we can explore the allure and intrigue surrounding the frog transformation theory. By recognizing the deep-rooted symbolism associated with frogs, we can better understand the narrative appeal and cultural resonance that contribute to the popularity of the conspiracy theory. As we continue our exploration, we will further examine the specific claims of the frog transformation theory and evaluate them within the broader context of mythology, symbolism, and scientific understanding. By doing so, we aim to unravel the layers of meaning surrounding this conspiracy theory and shed light on the complex interplay between mythology, symbolism, and modern-day conspiracy narratives. 2.2 Cultural representations of frogs. Frogs have been depicted in various cultural forms, including literature, art, folklore, and popular culture. These representations not only reflect the physical characteristics of frogs but also convey deeper symbolic meanings and cultural associations. Exploring the cultural representations of frogs provides insights into their perceived significance and the ways in which they have permeated human imagination. In literature, frogs have made appearances in numerous fables, myths, and folktales across different cultures. Aesop's fables, for example, feature stories such as the frog and the ox and the frog and the mouse, using the frog as a character to convey moral lessons. Frogs are often portrayed as small creatures with big aspirations, teaching lessons of humility, contentment, and acceptance of one's limitations. In ancient Greek drama, frogs were associated with the god Dionysus and featured prominently in the comedy play The Frogs by Aristophanes. The play uses frogs as a humorous and satirical element, commenting on the state of theater and society during that time. Frogs have also been depicted in visual art throughout history. In ancient Egyptian art, frog hieroglyphs were used as symbols representing the number 1000. The Aztecs of Mesoamerica represented the rain god Tlaloc with the imagery of a frog, emphasizing the amphibian's association with water and fertility. In contemporary art, frogs continue to serve as subjects of inspiration. Artists such as Salvador Dali and Max Ernst have incorporated frog motifs in their surrealistic works, employing the frog's symbolism to evoke notions of transformation, the unconscious, and the whimsical. Frogs have permeated folklore and popular culture, becoming icons in their own right. In Japanese folklore, the legendary creature called the kappa is often depicted as a water-dwelling creature resembling a frog or a turtle. The kappa is known for its mischievous nature and association with water bodies, serving as a cautionary tale to children about the dangers of venturing too close to rivers and ponds. In children's literature, frogs often take on endearing and playful roles. The beloved character Kermit the Frog, created by Jim Henson, has become an iconic figure through The Muppet Show and subsequent movies, capturing the hearts of audiences with his charm and wit. Frogs like Froggy from the popular book series by Jonathan London and the Frog Prince from fairy tales like The Princess and the Frog have become enduring characters in children's stories, showcasing themes of transformation, love, and adventure. Frogs have also become symbols in environmental and conservation movements. The plight of amphibians, including frogs, due to habitat destruction and climate change, has garnered attention from conservation organizations and activists. The image of a frog has become associated with messages of environmental awareness, emphasizing the importance of protecting biodiversity and preserving fragile ecosystems. By exploring the cultural representations of frogs, we gain a deeper understanding of their symbolism and significance within human culture. These representations reflect our fascination with these creatures, capturing their unique characteristics and attributing broader meanings to them. In the context of the frog transformation theory, understanding the cultural representations of frogs contributes to the broader narrative surrounding their alleged manipulation by the government. As we move forward in our exploration, we will continue to unravel the complexities of the frog transformation theory, delving into scientific understandings, historical contexts, and societal implications. By doing so, we aim to provide a comprehensive examination of the conspiracy and shed light on the broader dynamics of government conspiracies and their cultural resonance. 2.3 Frogs in Scientific Research and Environmental Studies. Beyond their cultural significance, frogs hold immense value in scientific research and environmental studies. These remarkable amphibians have captivated the attention of scientists and researchers due to their unique biological characteristics, ecological roles, and sensitivity to environmental changes. In this section, we will explore the contributions of frogs to scientific understanding and their importance in environmental studies. Frogs belong to the class Amphibia, which also includes salamanders and caecilians. Their life cycle involves a remarkable metamorphosis from aquatic tadpoles to terrestrial adults. This metamorphosis, along with their permeable skin and dependency on both aquatic and terrestrial habitats, makes frogs excellent indicators of environmental health and ecosystem integrity. One of the primary areas of scientific research involving frogs is the field of ecology. Frogs are important components of many ecosystems, occupying various niches as predators, prey, and decomposers. They play a crucial role in maintaining the balance of ecosystems by controlling insect populations and serving as a food source for other organisms. Studying the interactions between frogs and their environment provides insights into ecological processes, trophic dynamics, and biodiversity patterns. Frogs are also valued in the field of developmental biology. Their unique life cycle, characterized by metamorphosis, offers a valuable model system for studying the mechanisms of growth, tissue regeneration, and hormonal regulation. Researchers have made significant discoveries by studying the cellular and molecular processes involved in frog development, shedding light on fundamental biological processes that have implications beyond amphibians. Furthermore, frogs are utilized in environmental toxicology and the study of pollutants. Due to their sensitive and permeable skin, frogs are highly susceptible to environmental contaminants, including pesticides, heavy metals, and endocrine-disrupting chemicals. Monitoring the health and behavior of frog populations can provide early warning signs of environmental contamination, helping scientists assess the impact of pollutants on ecosystems and human health. In recent years, the decline of amphibian populations worldwide has raised concerns among scientists and conservationists. The phenomenon known as amphibian decline or decline syndrome has been attributed to multiple factors, including habitat loss, pollution, climate change, and the spread of infectious diseases such as chytridiomycosis. Frogs, being indicators of environmental health, act as sentinels, reflecting the overall condition of ecosystems. Monitoring frog populations and investigating the causes of their decline contribute to understanding the broader ecological challenges and implementing conservation strategies. The scientific research conducted on frogs has also led to the discovery of numerous species, adding to our understanding of biodiversity. Frogs are incredibly diverse, with over 7,000 known species, and new species continue to be identified. Exploring their genetic makeup, evolutionary history, and ecological adaptations enhances our knowledge of species diversity and evolutionary processes. In conclusion, frogs hold a significant place in scientific research and environmental studies. They provide valuable insights into ecological dynamics, developmental biology, environmental pollution, and conservation efforts. By understanding the scientific importance of frogs, we can appreciate their broader significance and the urgency to protect their habitats and ensure their survival. As we delve further into the frog transformation theory, it is crucial to recognize the vital role that frogs play in scientific research and environmental stewardship, contextualizing their alleged manipulation within the larger framework of amphibian biology and conservation. Chapter 3: The Rise of the Frog Transformation Conspiracy. 3.1 Emergence and Spread of the Theory. The frog transformation theory, which posits that the government is intentionally turning frogs gay, emerged as a controversial and widely debated conspiracy theory in recent years. Understanding the origins and the mechanisms of its spread provides valuable insights into the dynamics of conspiracy theories in the age of information. The origins of the frog transformation theory can be traced back to a 2010 study conducted by researchers at the University of California, Berkeley, led by Dr. Tyrone Hayes. The study explored the effects of the pesticide atrazine on amphibians, particularly on the sexual development of frogs. The findings of the study suggested that exposure to atrazine could disrupt the endocrine system of frogs, potentially affecting their reproductive capacities and leading to the development of same-sex behavior. While the scientific study focused on the specific effects of atrazine on frogs, it did not propose any deliberate government involvement or intention to turn frogs gay. However, the study's findings were taken out of context and sensationalized in certain media outlets and online platforms. As a result, the frog transformation theory took hold and gained traction among conspiracy theorists and individuals seeking to promote anti-government narratives. The spread of the frog transformation theory can be attributed to several factors. First and foremost is the power of the internet and social media platforms, which provide a fertile ground for the rapid dissemination of information, both accurate and misleading. Conspiracy theories, often characterized by their provocative and sensational nature, tend to capture public attention and generate widespread interest. Through the viral nature of online sharing, the frog transformation theory found its way into various corners of the internet, including forums, blogs, and social media groups, where it gained momentum and attracted a growing number of proponents. Another contributing factor to the spread of the theory is the cultural climate of skepticism towards government institutions and mainstream narratives. Conspiracy theories often emerge in contexts where there is a perceived lack of transparency, trust, or accountability in authoritative institutions. Skepticism towards government agencies and their intentions, whether justified or not, creates fertile ground for the proliferation of conspiracy theories. The frog transformation theory found resonance among individuals who harbored existing doubts about government actions and sought alternative explanations for societal phenomena. Additionally, the simplicity and emotive appeal of the frog transformation theory may have contributed to its widespread acceptance among certain groups. Conspiracy theories often offer simple, black-and-white explanations to complex issues, providing a sense of certainty and control in an uncertain world. The notion of a deliberate government plot to turn frogs gay resonated with individuals looking for straightforward explanations to societal changes and perceived moral shifts. It is important to note that the frog transformation theory lacks scientific evidence and is widely debunked by experts in the field. The original study on atrazine's effects on frogs does not support the theory's claims of intentional manipulation by the government. The misinterpretation and misrepresentation of scientific research highlight the dangers of cherry-picking data and distorting findings to fit a preconceived narrative. In conclusion, the frog transformation theory emerged from the misinterpretation of scientific research and gained traction through online platforms and a cultural climate of skepticism towards government institutions. Understanding the factors that contribute to the spread of conspiracy theories helps shed light on the complex dynamics at play in our information-driven society. As we continue to delve into the frog transformation theory, it is crucial to critically evaluate information, rely on evidence-based research, and foster a healthy skepticism that does not veer into the realm of unfounded conspiracy narratives. 3.2 Influential Figures and Organizations. The spread of conspiracy theories often involves the influence of certain individuals and organizations that play a significant role in promoting and popularizing such narratives. In the case of the frog transformation theory, there have been notable figures and organizations that have contributed to its dissemination and gained prominence within the conspiracy theory community. Understanding their influence provides insights into the dynamics of conspiracy theory propagation. Alternative media personalities. Several alternative media personalities have played a role in promoting the frog transformation theory. These individuals often operate outside of mainstream media channels and have substantial followings on platforms such as YouTube, podcasts, and alternative news websites. Through their charismatic presentation styles and appeal to alternative narratives, these personalities have amplified the conspiracy theory and attracted a dedicated audience. They often provide platforms for conspiracy theorists to share their views and contribute to the perpetuation of the theory. Online communities and forums. Online communities and forums dedicated to conspiracy theories have also played a crucial role in spreading the frog transformation theory. These platforms provide a space for like-minded individuals to connect, share information, and discuss their beliefs. The anonymity and accessibility of online forums enable individuals to freely express their ideas and contribute to the amplification of conspiracy narratives. Within these communities, the frog transformation theory may gain traction and be further disseminated through shared articles, videos, and discussions. Anti-government activist groups. Certain anti-government activist groups have embraced the frog transformation theory as part of their broader narratives of government control and manipulation. These groups often advocate for limited government intervention, personal freedoms, and resistance to perceived societal changes. The theory aligns with their anti-government agenda, providing them with another example of alleged government overreach and manipulation. These activist groups utilize various platforms, including social media, public events, and grassroots campaigns, to promote the theory and rally support for their causes. Meme culture. Memes, often humorous and visually engaging, have become a powerful medium for spreading ideas and narratives in the digital age. The frog transformation theory has been embraced within meme culture, particularly through the use of the Pepe the Frog meme. Originally created as a cartoon character by artist Matt Fury, Pepe the Frog was co-opted by certain online communities and transformed into a symbol associated with alt-right politics and conspiracy theories. The association of Pepe the Frog with the frog transformation theory has contributed to its visibility and dissemination in online spaces. It is important to note that the influence of these individuals and organizations does not validate the veracity of the frog transformation theory. Rather, their influence lies in their ability to amplify and popularize conspiracy narratives, tapping into existing sentiments and capturing the attention of specific audiences. The promotion of conspiracy theories by these influential figures and organizations highlights the challenges of navigating the information landscape and discerning reliable sources of information. In conclusion, influential figures and organizations play a significant role in the dissemination of conspiracy theories, including the frog transformation theory. Alternative media personalities, online communities, anti-government activist groups, and meme culture contribute to the propagation and popularization of conspiracy narratives. Recognizing their influence helps us understand the dynamics of conspiracy theory dissemination and the various channels through which these narratives gain prominence. As critical thinkers, it is important to evaluate information critically, seek reliable sources, and be aware of the potential influence of certain individuals and organizations in shaping public discourse. 3.3 Role of social media in promoting the conspiracy. Social media platforms have played a significant role in the promotion and dissemination of the frog transformation theory. These platforms have unique characteristics that contribute to the rapid spread and amplification of conspiracy theories. Here are some key aspects of the role of social media in promoting the conspiracy. Accessibility and reach. Social media platforms provide a highly accessible means for individuals to share and consume information. With billions of active users worldwide, platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube offer a vast audience that can be reached with just a few clicks. This accessibility enables the frog transformation theory to be disseminated widely and quickly, extending its reach beyond traditional media channels. Viral nature of content. Social media thrives on the viral spread of content. Conspiracy theories, often characterized by their sensational and attention-grabbing nature, have a higher likelihood of being shared and discussed among users. The frog transformation theory, with its provocative claims, easily captures the attention and curiosity of social media users, leading to its rapid circulation. The more a conspiracy theory is shared and engaged with, the greater its visibility becomes within the social media ecosystem. Echo chambers and confirmation bias. Social media platforms have a tendency to create echo chambers where individuals are exposed primarily to content that aligns with their existing beliefs and perspectives. Users who are already inclined to entertain conspiracy theories are more likely to encounter and share the frog transformation theory within these echo chambers. Confirmation bias further reinforces the spread of the theory as individuals seek out and share information that confirms their preconceived notions, contributing to the formation of self-reinforcing communities. Algorithmic recommendations. Social media platforms employ algorithms that curate and recommend content based on user preferences and engagement patterns. These algorithms aim to maximize user engagement by surfacing content that is likely to resonate with individuals. In the context of conspiracy theories, the algorithms may inadvertently amplify the visibility of the frog transformation theory by promoting content that generates high levels of interaction and discussion. This can lead to an echo chamber effect, as users are exposed to an increasing amount of related conspiracy content. Influencer and community endorsement. Social media influencers, individuals with large followings and significant influence within specific communities, play a role in promoting conspiracy theories like the frog transformation theory. Influencers who align with or believe in the theory can use their platforms to spread and discuss it, further amplifying its reach. Additionally, online communities centered around conspiracy theories provide spaces for like-minded individuals to discuss and validate their beliefs, fostering a sense of community and reinforcing the theory's prominence. In conclusion, social media platforms have significantly contributed to the promotion and dissemination of the frog transformation theory. The accessibility, viral nature of content, echo chambers, algorithmic recommendations, and the influence of online personalities all play a part in amplifying the reach and impact of conspiracy theories within the social media ecosystem. Understanding the role of social media is crucial in comprehending the dynamics of conspiracy theory propagation in the digital age. Chapter 4: Historical Context of Government Conspiracies. 4.1 Historical Context of Government Conspiracies. Government conspiracies and suspicions of hidden agendas have existed throughout history, shaped by various social, political, and cultural factors. Examining the historical context helps provide insights into the persistence and prevalence of conspiracy theories, including those related to the frog transformation theory. Distrust of authority. Conspiracy theories often arise in contexts where there is a general distrust of government and authority figures. Historical events, such as political scandals, cover-ups, and abuses of power, have eroded public trust in institutions, leading to heightened skepticism and suspicion. Instances of government deceit, such as the Watergate scandal in the United States or the Gulf of Tonkin incident, have fueled a sense of paranoia and a belief that governments are capable of concealing the truth for their own interests. Secrecy and classified information. The classification and secrecy surrounding government operations and intelligence activities have also contributed to the emergence of conspiracy theories. Classified documents, covert operations, and intelligence agencies that operate behind closed doors create an environment of secrecy that fuels speculation and distrust. The limited access to information and the perception that governments are withholding important details foster an environment conducive to conspiracy thinking. Socio-political unrest and power struggles. Times of social and political upheaval often give rise to conspiracy theories as people search for explanations and narratives that make sense of complex events. Periods of societal unrest, revolutions, or power struggles create fertile ground for the emergence of conspiracy theories that attempt to assign blame or uncover hidden motives. These theories offer simplified explanations for complex issues, providing a sense of control and understanding in times of uncertainty. Propaganda and disinformation campaigns. Historical instances of government-sponsored propaganda and disinformation campaigns have contributed to public skepticism and a belief in hidden agendas. Examples include the use of propaganda during wartime, covert operations to influence public opinion, and the manipulation of information for political gain. These instances have created a sense that governments are capable of orchestrating elaborate schemes and manipulating public perception. Cultural and historical narratives. Cultural and historical narratives also influence the susceptibility to government conspiracies. Legends, folklore, and historical events often involve stories of secret plots, hidden societies, and betrayals, providing a fertile ground for conspiracy narratives to take root. Cultural myths and historical events that involve mistrust of authority figures or cover-ups may shape the collective consciousness and predispose individuals to entertain conspiracy theories. It is important to note that while historical context provides valuable insights, it does not validate or invalidate specific conspiracy theories, including the frog transformation theory. Each conspiracy theory should be evaluated on its own merits, relying on critical thinking, evidence, and rational analysis. In conclusion, the historical context of government conspiracies reveals a recurring theme of distrust, secrecy, and suspicion. Instances of government deception, social unrest, propaganda, and cultural narratives contribute to the persistent belief in hidden agendas and the emergence of conspiracy theories. Understanding this historical context helps contextualize the prevalence and persistence of conspiracy thinking, providing valuable insights into the factors that contribute to the acceptance and propagation of conspiracy theories, including the frog transformation theory. 4.2 Motivations for controlling nature. Throughout history, there have been various motivations behind government efforts to control and manipulate nature. These motivations often stem from a combination of scientific curiosity, economic interests, military advancements, and ideological beliefs. Understanding these motivations helps shed light on the broader context within which conspiracy theories, such as the frog transformation theory, may emerge. Here are some key motivations that have historically influenced government actions related to nature control. Scientific curiosity and advancements. Governments have often been driven by scientific curiosity and the desire to understand and harness the natural world. Scientific research and experimentation aimed at controlling nature have been conducted to advance knowledge, develop new technologies, and improve agricultural practices. Examples include early experiments in genetic engineering, ecosystem management, and the study of natural resources for economic purposes. Economic interests and resource exploitation. Control over nature is often motivated by economic interests. Governments seek to exploit natural resources for economic gain, such as minerals, timber, or agricultural products. Efforts to control pests, regulate water resources, and manipulate ecosystems may be driven by the desire to maximize productivity, increase agricultural yields, or secure access to vital resources. Environmental stewardship and conservation. While not always the primary motivation, governments may also engage in nature control to protect and preserve the environment. Environmental stewardship initiatives, such as conservation efforts, habitat restoration, and the prevention of invasive species, aim to maintain ecological balance and safeguard biodiversity. These actions are driven by a recognition of the value of natural ecosystems and the need for sustainable practices. Military and defense applications. Governments have historically explored nature control for military and defense purposes. Research into biological warfare, genetic modifications for military applications, and environmental manipulation for strategic advantage have been part of military agendas. These motivations often involve efforts to understand and exploit vulnerabilities in the natural world to gain an upper hand in conflicts. Ideological beliefs and social engineering. In some instances, governments have pursued nature control as a means of enforcing ideological beliefs or social engineering. Examples include attempts to eradicate certain species deemed undesirable, modify animal behavior for human purposes, or reshape landscapes to fit ideological narratives. These motivations may stem from a desire to reshape the environment to align with perceived societal goals or values. It is important to note that the motivations discussed here are broad categories and not specific to the frog transformation theory or any particular conspiracy theory. The frog transformation theory itself posits a specific, controversial claim about government involvement in intentionally altering frog biology, which is not widely supported by scientific evidence. In conclusion, Governments have had various motivations for controlling and manipulating nature throughout history, including scientific curiosity, economic interests, military applications, environmental stewardship, and ideological beliefs. Understanding these motivations provides a broader context for examining government actions related to nature control and helps frame the emergence and persistence of conspiracy theories that allege government involvement in manipulating nature, such as the frog transformation theory. 4.3 Examining potential benefits and drawbacks. When exploring government involvement in controlling nature, it is important to consider both the potential benefits and drawbacks associated with such actions. Governments may engage in nature control initiatives for various reasons, but the consequences of these actions can have far-reaching implications. Examining these potential benefits and drawbacks provides a comprehensive understanding of the complexities involved. Here are some key considerations. The potential benefits and scientific advancements. Government-led research and experimentation in nature control can contribute to scientific advancements and the expansion of knowledge. Discoveries made through these efforts may lead to breakthroughs in fields such as agriculture, medicine, and environmental conservation. Economic development. Controlled management of natural resources can support economic development and enhance a country's economic stability. By optimizing agricultural practices, managing ecosystems, and developing sustainable resource extraction methods, governments may seek to maximize economic productivity and generate revenue. Environmental preservation. Some nature control initiatives aim to protect and preserve natural environments, safeguarding biodiversity and maintaining ecological balance. Conservation efforts, habitat restoration projects, and invasive species management can contribute to the long-term health and sustainability of ecosystems. Public health and safety. Government actions related to nature control may also be driven by concerns for public health and safety. Efforts to control disease-carrying vectors, manage invasive species that pose threats to ecosystems, or mitigate natural disasters can help safeguard communities and ensure public well-being. The potential drawbacks and environmental risks. Nature control initiatives, especially when conducted without proper oversight and regulation, can pose environmental risks. Introducing genetically modified organisms, altering ecosystems, or using chemicals for pest control may have unintended ecological consequences and disrupt delicate balances within ecosystems. Ethical considerations. Government actions related to nature control raise ethical concerns, particularly when they involve the manipulation or alteration of living organisms. Questions about the welfare of animals, the impact on biodiversity, and the potential unintended consequences of such interventions need to be carefully evaluated. Lack of transparency. Government involvement in nature control initiatives may sometimes lack transparency and public oversight. This can fuel suspicions and give rise to conspiracy theories, as secrecy and limited information can breed mistrust among the public. Unintended consequences. Manipulating nature can have unpredictable outcomes. Even with the best intentions, government-led efforts to control nature may result in unintended consequences, leading to ecological imbalances, negative impacts on human health, or unforeseen social and economic challenges. It is important to critically assess the potential benefits and drawbacks of government involvement in nature control. While some initiatives may offer advantages in terms of scientific progress, economic development, and environmental preservation, they can also carry risks and ethical considerations that must be carefully weighed. In the case of the frog transformation theory, evaluating the alleged government involvement in altering frog biology requires a thorough examination of the scientific evidence, ethical implications, and potential unintended consequences. It is essential to rely on credible scientific research and engage in open and informed discussions to assess the validity of such claims. Chapter 5: Understanding Endocrine Disruptors. 5.1 Understanding Endocrine Disruptors. Endocrine disruptors are substances that can interfere with the hormonal system of humans and animals, leading to various physiological effects. These substances can mimic, block, or alter the function of hormones in the body, potentially disrupting normal endocrine processes. Understanding the concept of endocrine disruptors is essential in evaluating the validity of claims related to the frog transformation theory. Here are key aspects to consider. Hormonal system and endocrine function. the hormonal system plays a vital role in regulating numerous physiological processes in organisms. Hormones act as chemical messengers, coordinating various bodily functions, including growth, development, metabolism, reproduction, and behavior. Disruptions to the endocrine system can have significant impacts on overall health and well-being. Sources and types of endocrine disruptors. Endocrine disruptors can be found in various substances, including synthetic chemicals, natural compounds, and certain medications. Examples of endocrine disrupting substances include certain pesticides, industrial chemicals, plasticizers, such as bisphenol A, certain pharmaceuticals, and some naturally occurring compounds found in plants, phytoestrogens. These substances can enter the environment through industrial processes, agricultural practices, consumer products, and waste disposal. Routes of exposure. Endocrine disruptors can enter the body through different routes of exposure, including ingestion, inhalation, and dermal contact. They may be present in food and water sources, air pollution, consumer products, and even maternal transfer during pregnancy and breastfeeding. The extent of exposure to endocrine disruptors can vary depending on factors such as occupation, lifestyle choices, geographical location, and individual behaviors. 4. Health effects. Endocrine disruptors have been associated with a range of health effects in both humans and animals. These effects can include developmental abnormalities, reproductive disorders, hormonal imbalances, impaired fertility, increased risk of certain cancers, metabolic disorders, immune system dysfunction, and neurological impacts. However, the specific effects and their severity can vary depending on factors such as the type and dose of the endocrine disruptor, the timing of exposure, and individual susceptibility. Regulatory measures and research. The potential risks posed by endocrine disruptors have prompted regulatory measures and scientific research to better understand their impacts and establish guidelines for their safe use. Regulatory agencies around the world, such as the Environmental Protection Agency (EPA) in the United States and the European Chemicals Agency (ECHA) in the European Union, have implemented measures to identify and regulate certain endocrine disruptors. Research continues to expand our knowledge of the mechanisms of action, long-term effects, and methods for detection and mitigation of endocrine disruptors. It is crucial to note that the existence of endocrine disruptors and their effects on organisms does not directly support the claim that governments are intentionally using such substances to transform frogs or influence human behavior. Scientific evidence and rigorous studies are necessary to validate specific claims and establish causation between the alleged actions of governments and the observed effects on frogs or other organisms. In conclusion, understanding endocrine disruptors is vital in assessing claims related to the frog transformation theory. Endocrine disruptors are substances that can interfere with the hormonal system, potentially leading to various health effects. While the existence and impact of endocrine disruptors are well documented, it is crucial to rely on scientific evidence and critical analysis to evaluate specific claims of intentional government involvement in altering frog biology. 5.2 Impacts of chemicals on wildlife. Chemicals, including endocrine disruptors, can have significant impacts on wildlife populations and ecosystems. Understanding these impacts is crucial when evaluating claims related to the frog transformation theory and the alleged influence of chemicals on frog biology. Here are key considerations regarding the effects of chemicals on wildlife. Reproductive disorders and endocrine disruption. Endocrine disrupting chemicals can interfere with the reproductive systems of wildlife, leading to reproductive disorders and impaired fertility. These chemicals can disrupt hormone signaling, alter sexual development, and affect reproductive behaviors. As a result, wildlife populations may experience reduced reproductive success, decreased fertility rates, skewed sex ratios, and compromised overall reproductive health. Developmental abnormalities. Exposure to certain chemicals during critical developmental stages can cause developmental abnormalities in wildlife. These abnormalities may include morphological deformities, impaired growth, altered organ development, and behavioral changes. Such disruptions can have long-term consequences for individual organisms and may impact the viability of affected populations. Population decline and biodiversity loss. chemical pollutants can contribute to the decline of wildlife populations and loss of biodiversity. Prolonged exposure to harmful chemicals can lead to increased mortality rates, reduced reproductive output, and decreased survival rates in affected species. These effects can disrupt ecological balance, disrupt food webs, and decrease overall biodiversity within ecosystems. Accumulation in the food chain. Many chemicals have the potential to accumulate and biomagnify through the food chain. When organisms at lower trophic levels are exposed to these chemicals, they can be absorbed and stored in their tissues. As predators consume multiple prey items, the concentrations of chemicals can increase, posing greater risks to higher-level consumers. This biomagnification process can lead to significant impacts on top predator species, including birds, mammals, and amphibians like frogs. Habitat loss and disruption. Chemical pollution can also contribute to habitat loss and disruption, further impacting wildlife populations. Pollution from industrial activities, agricultural practices, and improper waste disposal can contaminate water bodies, soil, and air, degrading habitats and reducing the availability of suitable environments for wildlife. Habitat loss and degradation can disrupt natural behaviors, migration patterns, and reproductive cycles, leading to population declines and localized extinctions. Ecological consequences. The impacts of chemicals on wildlife extend beyond individual organisms and can have broader ecological consequences. Disrupted populations and imbalances within ecosystems can have cascading effects on other species, disrupting ecological interactions, nutrient cycling, and ecosystem functioning. These effects can ripple through the entire ecosystem, affecting multiple trophic levels and compromising overall ecosystem health. It is important to recognize that the impacts of chemicals on wildlife are a result of various factors, including the specific chemical properties, exposure levels, duration of exposure, and interactions with other stressors. Evaluating claims of intentional government involvement in altering frog biology requires rigorous scientific investigation, including studying the specific chemicals involved, their concentrations in the environment, and their potential effects on frogs and other wildlife. In conclusion, chemicals, including endocrine disruptors, can have significant impacts on wildlife populations and ecosystems. Reproductive disorders, developmental abnormalities, population declines, and habitat disruption are among the consequences of chemical pollution. These effects highlight the importance of mitigating chemical pollution and conducting rigorous scientific research to understand the potential impacts of specific chemicals on wildlife. 5.3 Scientific Consensus and Controversies. The study of endocrine disruptors and their impacts on wildlife and human health is an active field of scientific research. While there is a general scientific consensus on the existence and effects of certain endocrine-disrupting chemicals, there are also ongoing debates and controversies surrounding specific aspects of this subject. It is important to examine the scientific consensus and areas of contention to gain a comprehensive understanding. Here are key considerations. 1. Scientific consensus. Existence of endocrine disruptors. There is a widespread scientific consensus that certain chemicals can act as endocrine disruptors, interfering with hormone function in humans and wildlife. B. Health effects. The scientific community agrees that exposure to endocrine-disrupting chemicals can lead to a range of adverse health effects, including reproductive disorders, developmental abnormalities, and hormonal imbalances. C. Environmental impact. It is widely recognized that endocrine disruptors can have significant impacts on wildlife populations, causing reproductive impairments, population declines, and disruptions to ecosystems. D. Regulatory actions. Governments and regulatory agencies have taken steps to address the risks associated with endocrine-disrupting chemicals by implementing regulations and guidelines to minimize exposure and protect public and environmental health. 2. Controversies and debates. Dosage and threshold effects. One area of debate is the dose-response relationship and the existence of threshold effects for endocrine disruptors. Some argue that even low doses of certain chemicals can have significant effects, while others believe that certain thresholds must be surpassed for adverse effects to occur. B. Complex mixtures and cumulative effects. Another area of contention is the potential cumulative effects of exposure to multiple endocrine disrupting chemicals and the challenges of assessing the risks associated with complex mixtures. The combined effects of different chemicals and their interactions in the body are still being studied. C. Human health effects. While there is consensus on the general health effects of endocrine disruptors, ongoing research aims to better understand the specific mechanisms and outcomes in humans, as well as the susceptibility of different populations to these effects. D. Predicting ecological impacts. The ability to predict the ecological impacts of endocrine disrupting chemicals accurately is an ongoing challenge. Understanding the complex interactions between chemicals, wildlife populations, and ecosystems requires further research and data collection. It is important to approach controversies and debates surrounding endocrine disruptors with a scientific mindset, relying on peer-reviewed research and consensus building within the scientific community. Ongoing research, advancements in analytical techniques, and long-term studies are contributing to our understanding of the complexities associated with endocrine disruptors and their impacts. While the existence of endocrine disruptors and their effects on wildlife and human health is well supported by scientific evidence, it is necessary to critically evaluate specific claims related to the frog transformation theory and government involvement. Evaluating the validity of such claims requires rigorous scientific investigation, including peer-reviewed studies, empirical evidence, and expert consensus within the relevant scientific disciplines.
In conclusion, there is a scientific consensus on the existence and effects of certain endocrine-disrupting chemicals. However, there are ongoing debates and controversies surrounding specific aspects of this field. Understanding the scientific consensus and areas of contention is crucial when evaluating claims related to the alleged influence of chemicals on frogs and other organisms. Continued research and scientific inquiry will contribute to a deeper understanding of endocrine disruptors and their impacts on wildlife and human health. Chapter 6: Common Chemicals in Water Sources.
6.1 Common Chemicals in Water Sources. Water sources, including rivers, lakes, groundwater, and even tap water, can contain a variety of chemicals, both naturally occurring and man-made. Understanding the presence of common chemicals in water sources is important in assessing potential exposure and evaluating claims related to the frog transformation theory. Here are some examples of common chemicals found in water sources. 1. Heavy metals. Heavy metals such as lead, mercury, cadmium, and arsenic can be present in water sources due to natural weathering of rocks and soils, as well as human activities such as mining, industrial discharges, and improper waste disposal. These metals are toxic and can have detrimental effects on both human health and the environment. 2. Chlorine and chlorination byproducts. Chlorine is commonly used as a disinfectant in water treatment to control microbial contamination. During the disinfection process, chlorine can react with organic matter present in water, forming disinfection byproducts, DBPs, such as trihalomethanes, THMs, and haloacetic acids, HAAs. These byproducts have been associated with potential health risks, including carcinogenicity and reproductive effects. 3. Pesticides and herbicides. Agricultural activities involve the use of pesticides and herbicides to control pests and weeds. These chemicals can enter water sources through runoff and leaching, potentially contaminating drinking water supplies. Common pesticide classes found in water include organochlorines, organophosphates, and pyrethroids, among others.
4. Pharmaceuticals and personal care products. PPCPs. Pharmaceuticals and personal care products, including prescription drugs, over-the-counter medications, and personal care items like cosmetics and sunscreen, can enter water sources through various pathways such as excretion, improper disposal, and wastewater treatment plant effluents. PPCPs have been detected in water sources worldwide, raising concerns about their potential ecological and human health impacts. 5. Industrial chemicals. Industrial activities can release a wide range of chemicals into water sources. These may include organic solvents, dyes, flame retardants, and plasticizers. Industrial discharges and accidental spills can introduce these chemicals into the environment, posing risks to aquatic life and potentially affecting water quality for human consumption. 6. Nitrates and phosphates. Nitrates and phosphates are nutrients commonly found in water sources due to agricultural runoff, wastewater discharge, and the use of fertilizers. Elevated levels of nitrates and phosphates can lead to eutrophication and excessive growth of algae and aquatic plants, which can negatively impact water quality, oxygen levels, and aquatic ecosystems. 7. Volatile organic compounds, VOCs. VOCs are a diverse group of chemicals that can be released from various sources such as industrial processes, gasoline, paints, and solvents. They have the potential to enter water sources through groundwater contamination, spills, and improper disposal practices. Some VOCs are known or suspected to have adverse health effects. It is important to note that the presence and concentration of these chemicals in water sources can vary depending on factors such as geographical location, land use practices, industrial activities, and water treatment processes. Regulatory agencies and water management authorities monitor water quality and implement measures to ensure compliance with established safety standards. When evaluating claims related to the frog transformation theory, it is essential to consider the specific chemicals involved, their sources, and the likelihood of exposure pathways for frogs and other organisms. Rigorous scientific studies and monitoring programs play a critical role in assessing the potential risks associated with these chemicals and their effects on aquatic ecosystems and biodiversity. 6.2 Effects of pollutants on amphibians. Amphibians, including frogs, toads, and salamanders, are particularly sensitive to environmental changes and pollutants. The presence of common chemicals in water sources can have significant effects on amphibians, both directly and indirectly. Understanding these effects is crucial in evaluating claims related to the frog transformation theory. Here are some key considerations regarding the impacts of pollutants on amphibians. 1. Developmental abnormalities. Exposure to certain pollutants, including endocrine disrupting chemicals, can interfere with the normal development of amphibians. These disruptions can lead to developmental abnormalities such as limb malformations, growth deformities, and alterations in organ development. Amphibians that undergo metamorphosis, such as frogs, are especially vulnerable during their aquatic larval stage when they are more likely to come into contact with pollutants. 2. Reproductive disorders. Pollutants can disrupt the reproductive systems of amphibians, leading to reproductive disorders and impaired fertility. Endocrine disrupting chemicals can interfere with the production and regulation of hormones involved in reproductive processes, including mating behaviors, gonadal development, and gamete production. These disruptions can result in reduced reproductive success, decreased fertility rates, and population declines. 3. Disruption of hormonal regulation. Pollutants, particularly endocrine disruptors, can disrupt the delicate hormonal balance in amphibians. These chemicals can interfere with the normal functioning of the endocrine system, which plays a crucial role in regulating various physiological processes. Hormonal disruptions can lead to abnormal growth, altered metabolism, compromised immune function, and other physiological impairments in amphibians. 4. Immune system impairment. Exposure to pollutants can weaken the immune systems of amphibians, making them more susceptible to diseases, infections, and parasites. Amphibians with compromised immune function may experience higher mortality rates and reduced overall fitness, which can have significant population-level impacts. 5. Behavioral changes. Pollutants can also induce behavioral changes in amphibians. Chemical exposure may alter mating behaviors, territoriality, foraging patterns, and predator avoidance strategies. These behavioral changes can affect individual fitness, population dynamics, and ecosystem interactions. 6. Interactions with other stressors. Amphibians are often exposed to multiple stressors simultaneously, such as habitat loss, pollution, climate change, and disease. The combined effects of these stressors can be synergistic, exacerbating the negative impacts on amphibian populations. For example, pollutants may weaken amphibians' immune systems, making them more susceptible to infectious diseases. 7. Population declines and biodiversity loss. The cumulative impacts of pollutants on amphibians can lead to population declines and localized extinctions. Amphibians play important roles in ecosystems as predators, prey, and indicators of environmental health. Their decline can disrupt ecological interactions, alter food webs, and contribute to the overall loss of biodiversity. It is important to note that the effects of pollutants on amphibians can vary depending on factors such as the specific chemicals involved, their concentrations, exposure duration, and interactions with other environmental factors. Rigorous scientific studies, field observations, and controlled experiments are necessary to understand the mechanisms and outcomes of chemical exposure on amphibians. When evaluating claims related to the frog transformation theory, it is essential to consider the scientific evidence linking specific pollutants to the observed effects on amphibians. Peer-reviewed studies, long-term monitoring programs, and expert consensus within the scientific community play a crucial role in understanding the impacts of pollutants on amphibian populations and informing conservation and management efforts. 6.3 Linking water contamination to human health concerns. Water contamination with common chemicals can raise concerns not only for amphibians and the environment, but also for human health. Understanding the potential links between water contamination and human health is vital in evaluating claims related to the frog transformation theory. Here are key considerations regarding the connection between water contamination and human health concerns. 1. Drinking water quality. The quality of drinking water is of paramount importance to human health. Contaminants in water sources, such as heavy metals, disinfection byproducts, pesticides, pharmaceuticals, and industrial chemicals, can pose risks to human health if they exceed established safety standards. Exposure to these contaminants through drinking water consumption can lead to a range of adverse health effects, including acute toxicity, chronic illnesses, developmental disorders, and increased cancer risks. 2. Acute health effects. Certain chemicals found in water sources, when ingested or inhaled, can cause acute health effects in humans. For example, heavy metals like lead and mercury can result in neurological damage, gastrointestinal issues, and organ failure. Chemical spills and industrial accidents can introduce high concentrations of pollutants into water sources, posing immediate health risks to nearby populations. 3. Chronic health effects. Prolonged exposure to low levels of contaminants in water sources can lead to chronic health effects over time. Endocrine disrupting chemicals, for instance, have been associated with hormone-related disorders, reproductive impairments, developmental abnormalities, and increased risks of certain cancers. The cumulative effects of exposure to multiple contaminants can further contribute to chronic health issues. 4. Vulnerable populations. Certain groups within the population may be more susceptible to the health effects of water contamination. Infants, children, pregnant women, the elderly, and individuals with compromised immune systems are particularly vulnerable. Their physiological differences or weakened immune systems can heighten their sensitivity to contaminants, increasing the potential for adverse health outcomes. 5. Routes of exposure. In addition to drinking water consumption, humans can be exposed to contaminants through other routes as well. Inhalation of volatile compounds, dermal contact during recreational activities like swimming, and the consumption of contaminated food and beverages prepared with contaminated water are additional pathways of exposure. It is essential to consider the multiple routes of exposure when assessing the potential health risks associated with water contamination. 6. Cumulative effects and multiple exposures. Water contamination is often one of many sources of exposure to chemicals in our environment. Individuals may be exposed to contaminants from various sources such as air pollution, food, consumer products, and occupational settings. The cumulative effects of multiple exposures can further contribute to health risks, making it necessary to consider the broader context of chemical exposures when evaluating potential health concerns. 7. Regulatory measures and water treatment. Governments and regulatory agencies implement measures to ensure safe drinking water supplies. These include monitoring water quality, setting maximum contaminant levels, implementing water treatment processes, and enforcing regulations to mitigate risks associated with water contamination. Such measures are designed to protect public health and minimize exposure to harmful contaminants. When evaluating claims related to the frog transformation theory and its implications for human health, it is important to rely on rigorous scientific research, epidemiological studies, and regulatory standards. Expert consensus within the scientific community and evaluations conducted by reputable health agencies can provide valuable insights into the potential health risks associated with water contamination. In conclusion, water contamination with common chemicals can raise human health concerns. Exposure to pollutants through drinking water consumption and other routes of exposure can lead to acute and chronic health effects, particularly in vulnerable populations. Understanding the risks, regulatory measures, and scientific research surrounding water contamination is crucial in assessing claims related to the frog transformation theory and its potential implications for human health. Chapter 7: Overview of Relevant Government Agencies. 7.1 Overview of Relevant Government Agencies. In addressing the topic of the frog transformation theory and its implications, several government agencies play important roles in monitoring, regulating, and addressing issues related to water quality, environmental protection, and public health. These agencies contribute to the understanding of potential risks associated with water contamination and the assessment of claims related to the theory. Here is an overview of some relevant government agencies. 1. Environmental Protection Agency, EPA. The EPA is a federal agency in the United States responsible for protecting human health and the environment. It sets and enforces regulations related to water quality, pollution control, and the management of hazardous substances. The EPA conducts research, monitors water sources, establishes standards for contaminants, and works to ensure compliance with environmental laws. 2. Food and Drug Administration, FDA. The FDA is a federal agency in the United States that regulates food safety, pharmaceuticals, and other products related to public health. While its primary focus is on food and drugs, the FDA also addresses issues related to drinking water quality, including the regulation of bottled water. The FDA sets standards and guidelines for the presence of contaminants in food and beverages, ensuring they are safe for human consumption. 3. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC. The CDC is a national public health agency in the United States that works to protect public health and prevent diseases. It conducts research, provides health information and education, and responds to health emergencies. The CDC plays a crucial role in assessing the health impacts of environmental exposures, including water contamination, and provides guidance to communities and healthcare professionals. 4. World Health Organization, WHO. The WHO is a specialized agency of the United Nations responsible for international public health. It provides global leadership in addressing health issues and sets standards and guidelines for water quality and safety. The WHO collaborates with member countries, conducts research, and provides technical support to improve water management, monitoring, and risk assessment. 5. National Environmental Agencies. Many countries have their own national environmental agencies responsible for monitoring and regulating environmental issues, including water quality. These agencies may vary in name and structure depending on the country. They play a vital role in assessing and managing water resources, implementing environmental policies, and ensuring compliance with national regulations. 6. Water Management and Regulatory Authorities. Various water management and regulatory authorities exist at regional, state/provincial, and local levels. These entities oversee the management of water resources, establish guidelines for water quality, issue permits for water use and discharge, and enforce regulations related to water pollution control. They work closely with other government agencies, stakeholders, and communities to protect water sources and ensure sustainable water management practices. 7. Research institutions and laboratories. Research institutions, universities, and independent laboratories also contribute to the understanding of water quality issues and the assessment of potential risks. They conduct scientific studies, analyze water samples, and provide expertise in evaluating the impacts of contaminants on human health and the environment. Their research findings and expertise contribute to the scientific knowledge base and inform policy decisions. It is important to note that the specific agencies and organizations involved may vary depending on the country or region of focus. Each agency has its own mandates, responsibilities, and areas of expertise. Collaboration and information exchange among these agencies are essential to comprehensively address water quality issues, assess risks, and implement effective measures for environmental protection and public health. When evaluating claims related to the frog transformation theory and its implications, it is valuable to consider the findings, recommendations, and regulatory actions of these government agencies. Their expertise, research, and regulatory oversight contribute to the understanding of water quality, contaminants, and potential risks, supporting evidence-based assessments and decision-making processes. 7.2 Regulation and monitoring of water quality. Ensuring the safety and quality of water sources is a critical responsibility of government agencies around the world. Regulation and monitoring efforts are in place to assess and address potential risks associated with water contamination. In the context of the frog transformation theory, understanding the regulatory framework and monitoring practices is essential. Here are key aspects of water quality regulation and monitoring. 1. Water quality standards. Government agencies establish water quality standards that define acceptable levels of contaminants in water sources. These standards are based on scientific research, risk assessments, and public health considerations. Parameters such as pH, dissolved oxygen, turbidity, temperature, and the presence of specific contaminants are monitored and regulated to protect human health and the environment. 2. Regulatory frameworks. Governments develop regulatory frameworks to enforce water quality standards and manage potential sources of contamination. These frameworks include laws, regulations, permits, and guidelines that outline responsibilities, set limits for pollutants, and establish compliance requirements. Regulatory agencies oversee the implementation and enforcement of these frameworks, ensuring adherence to water quality standards. 3. Water sampling and analysis. Monitoring water quality involves regular sampling and analysis of water samples from various sources such as rivers, lakes, groundwater, and treated drinking water. Government agencies, research institutions, and certified laboratories conduct these activities using standardized methods and protocols. Comprehensive water analysis helps identify the presence of contaminants, measure their concentrations, and assess compliance with water quality standards. 4. Pollutant identification and risk assessment. Government agencies work to identify pollutants of concern based on their potential health risks and environmental impacts. They conduct risk assessments to evaluate the likelihood and severity of adverse effects associated with specific contaminants. These assessments consider exposure pathways, toxicological data, and the vulnerability of ecosystems and human populations. 5. Source water protection. Governments implement source water protection programs to safeguard water supplies at their origin. These programs involve monitoring and managing activities within watersheds to minimize the introduction of contaminants into source waters. They may include land use planning, agricultural best practices, pollution prevention measures, and the implementation of buffer zones. 6. Water treatment and disinfection. Public water systems employ treatment processes to remove or reduce contaminants and ensure the safety of drinking water. Filtration, disinfection, such as chlorination, and other treatment methods are employed to remove or inactivate pathogens, remove sediment and organic matter, and reduce the concentration of certain chemicals. Treatment processes are regulated to meet specific standards and guidelines. 7. Compliance monitoring and enforcement. Government agencies conduct compliance monitoring to ensure that water suppliers, industries, and other entities meet regulatory requirements. This involves regular inspections, audits, and data reporting to assess compliance with water quality standards. Non-compliance can result in enforcement actions, including fines, penalties, and corrective measures to address the source of contamination. 8. Public health advisories and notifications. government agencies play a crucial role in communicating water quality information to the public. They issue public health advisories and notifications in cases where water quality concerns arise, such as contamination events or exceedances of regulatory standards. These advisories provide guidance on precautions to be taken, alternative water sources, and potential health risks associated with the contaminated water. Regulation and monitoring of water quality are dynamic processes that adapt to emerging scientific knowledge, changing environmental conditions, and evolving risks. Government agencies collaborate with scientific experts, stakeholders, and communities to continuously improve water quality management strategies, incorporate new technologies, and enhance public health protection. Understanding the regulatory framework and monitoring practices helps provide a comprehensive view of the efforts in place to safeguard water sources. When evaluating claims related to the frog transformation theory, knowledge of these regulatory and monitoring processes can support evidence-based assessments, inform discussions on water quality, and contribute to a broader understanding of potential risks and their management. Allegations of collusion and cover-ups regarding the frog transformation theory have been a significant aspect of the conspiracy narrative. These allegations suggest that government agencies, scientific organizations, and other entities are actively working together to suppress or manipulate information related to the theory. It is important to examine these allegations objectively and consider the following points. 1. Lack of substantiated evidence. Conspiracy theories often rely on anecdotal evidence, hearsay, or misinformation rather than verifiable and substantiated evidence. While claims of collusion and cover-ups may circulate widely, it is crucial to critically evaluate the evidence supporting such allegations. In many cases, these claims are based on speculation, conspiracy-minded interpretations of events, or intentional misinformation. 2. Transparency and accountability. Government agencies and scientific organizations are typically bound by principles of transparency, accountability, and ethical conduct. They are expected to operate in the public's interest, providing accurate information, and addressing public health and environmental concerns. While errors or misjudgments may occur, the systematic cover-up of information on a significant scale is highly unlikely given the wide range of independent researchers, scientists, and professionals involved in these organizations. 3. Peer review and scientific community. The scientific community operates on the principles of peer review, open debate, and replication of research findings. Scientific theories undergo rigorous scrutiny by experts in the field before being accepted as credible explanations. The frog transformation theory, as an extraordinary claim, would require extensive scientific evidence, consensus, and replication before gaining widespread acceptance. The scientific community's commitment to evidence-based research and skepticism acts as a safeguard against unfounded or manipulated claims. 4. Whistleblower protections. In cases where individuals within government agencies or scientific organizations believe they have information about wrongdoing or cover-ups, legal protections and mechanisms exist to encourage them to come forward. Whistleblower protections safeguard individuals who report misconduct, providing avenues for their concerns to be investigated independently. These protections help expose any potential collusion or cover-up attempts. 5. Complexity of conspiracy scale. The scale and complexity of alleged collusions and cover-ups require a significant number of individuals to be involved while maintaining secrecy. Coordinating such large-scale conspiracies across multiple organizations, disciplines, and countries for an extended period without any substantial leaks or evidence is highly improbable. The exposure of major scandals and cover-ups in various fields throughout history demonstrates the difficulty of maintaining long-term conspiratorial efforts. 6. Independent research and citizen science. It is worth noting that citizen science initiatives and independent research play a valuable role in examining claims and gathering data. These endeavors empower individuals outside traditional institutions to contribute to scientific knowledge. If allegations of collusion or cover-ups persist, independent researchers and citizen scientists can investigate the claims, providing alternative perspectives and contributing to the broader understanding of the topic. While it is essential to remain critical and open to different perspectives, it is equally important to base judgments on credible evidence, scientific consensus, and logical reasoning. Allegations of collusion and cover-ups should be subject to rigorous scrutiny, and claims should be evaluated based on the weight of evidence and the credibility of the sources. Open dialogue, collaboration, and a commitment to the scientific process are crucial in assessing the validity of such allegations and understanding the truth behind the frog transformation theory. 7.3 Allegations of collusion and cover-ups. Allegations of collusion and cover-ups regarding the frog transformation theory have been a significant aspect of the conspiracy narrative. These allegations suggest that government agencies, scientific organizations, and other entities are actively working together to suppress or manipulate information related to the theory. It is important to examine these allegations objectively and consider the following points. 1. Lack of substantiated evidence. Conspiracy theories often rely on anecdotal evidence, hearsay, or misinformation rather than verifiable and substantiated evidence. While claims of collusion and cover-ups may circulate widely, it is crucial to critically evaluate the evidence supporting such allegations. In many cases, these claims are based on speculation, conspiracy-minded interpretations of events, or intentional misinformation. 2. Transparency and accountability. Government agencies and scientific organizations are typically bound by principles of transparency, accountability, and ethical conduct. They are expected to operate in the public's interest, providing accurate information, and addressing public health and environmental concerns. While errors or misjudgments may occur, the systematic cover-up of information on a significant scale is highly unlikely given the wide range of independent researchers, scientists, and professionals involved in these organizations. 3. Peer review and scientific community. The scientific community operates on the principles of peer review, open debate, and replication of research findings. Scientific theories undergo rigorous scrutiny by experts in the field before being accepted as credible explanations. The frog transformation theory, as an extraordinary claim, would require extensive scientific evidence, consensus, and replication before gaining widespread acceptance. The scientific community's commitment to evidence-based research and skepticism acts as a safeguard against unfounded or manipulated claims. 4. Whistleblower protections. In cases where individuals within government agencies or scientific organizations believe they have information about wrongdoing or cover-ups, legal protections and mechanisms exist to encourage them to come forward. Whistleblower protections safeguard individuals who report misconduct, providing avenues for their concerns to be investigated independently. These protections help expose any potential collusion or cover-up attempts. 5. Complexity of conspiracy scale. The scale and complexity of alleged collusions and cover-ups require a significant number of individuals to be involved while maintaining secrecy. Coordinating such large-scale conspiracies across multiple organizations, disciplines, and countries for an extended period without any substantial leaks or evidence is highly improbable. The exposure of major scandals and cover-ups in various fields throughout history demonstrates the difficulty of maintaining long-term conspiratorial efforts. 6. Independent research and citizen science. It is worth noting that citizen science initiatives and independent research play a valuable role in examining claims and gathering data. These endeavors empower individuals outside traditional institutions to contribute to scientific knowledge. If allegations of collusion or cover-ups persist, independent researchers and citizen scientists can investigate the claims, providing alternative perspectives and contributing to the broader understanding of the topic. While it is essential to remain critical and open to different perspectives, it is equally important to base judgments on credible evidence, scientific consensus, and logical reasoning. Allegations of collusion and cover-ups should be subject to rigorous scrutiny, and claims should be evaluated based on the weight of evidence and the credibility of the sources. Open dialogue, collaboration, and a commitment to the scientific process are crucial in assessing the validity of such allegations and understanding the truth behind the frog transformation theory. Chapter 8: Media Influence and Manipulation. 8.1 The power of media in shaping opinion. The media plays a significant role in shaping public opinion and influencing the collective mindset of society. In the context of the frog transformation theory, understanding the power and influence of the media is crucial in comprehending how conspiracy theories gain traction and how public perception is influenced. Here are key aspects to consider regarding the power of media in shaping opinion. 1. Information dissemination. Media outlets, including television, radio, newspapers, magazines, and online platforms, serve as channels for information dissemination. They play a vital role in presenting news, opinions, and analysis to the public. Through various formats, such as news reports, articles, documentaries, and social media posts, the media helps shape public knowledge and understanding of events and issues. 2. Agenda setting. Media outlets have the ability to set the agenda by highlighting certain topics, issues, or narratives over others. Through editorial decisions, media organizations can influence public attention and prioritize specific narratives. This agenda-setting power can impact the prominence and visibility of conspiracy theories, including the frog transformation theory. The media's focus and framing of these theories can influence public perception and acceptance. 3. Framing and bias. Media outlets have their own inherent biases, which can influence the way they present information and shape public opinion. The framing of news stories, selection of sources, and language used in reporting can subtly influence the audience's understanding and interpretation of the information. Biases may arise from various factors, such as political affiliations, commercial interests, sensationalism, or the pursuit of higher ratings or web traffic. 4. Sensationalism and clickbait. In the competitive media landscape, sensationalism and clickbait tactics are sometimes employed to attract attention and generate higher viewership or readership. Sensationalized headlines, provocative images, or exaggerated claims can fuel the spread of conspiracy theories, including the frog transformation theory. Such tactics may prioritize attracting an audience over providing accurate and balanced information. 5. Confirmation bias. Media consumption is often driven by individual preferences and beliefs, leading to confirmation bias. People tend to seek information that aligns with their existing beliefs and values, while disregarding or discrediting information that contradicts their viewpoints. This bias can contribute to the spread and perpetuation of conspiracy theories, as individuals selectively consume media content that reinforces their preconceived notions. 6. Echo chambers and social media. The rise of social media platforms has further amplified the influence of media in shaping opinion. Social media algorithms and user behavior tend to create echo chambers, where individuals are exposed to content that aligns with their interests and beliefs. This can result in the reinforcement and rapid spread of conspiracy theories within specific online communities, potentially intensifying their impact. 7. Media literacy. Developing media literacy skills is essential for critical thinking and discernment when consuming information from various media sources. Media literacy empowers individuals to evaluate the credibility, bias, and accuracy of the information presented. By understanding media techniques, fact-checking claims, and seeking multiple perspectives, individuals can navigate the media landscape more effectively and make informed judgments. Recognizing the power and influence of the media in shaping public opinion is crucial when examining the propagation and acceptance of conspiracy theories like the frog transformation theory. Being aware of media dynamics, biases, and the potential for manipulation can help individuals develop a more discerning and critical approach to media consumption. Promoting media literacy and fostering a culture of fact-checking and critical thinking are essential in navigating the complex media landscape and combating the undue influence of misinformation and conspiracy theories. 8.2 Analyzing media narratives. Analyzing media narratives is a vital aspect of understanding the role of media in shaping public opinion and influencing perceptions of conspiracy theories. Media narratives refer to the overarching storylines, themes, and perspectives that are presented in news reports, articles, documentaries, and other media formats. When examining media narratives, it is important to consider the following. 1. Framing and bias. Media narratives are influenced by the framing and bias of media outlets. Framing refers to how information is presented, emphasizing certain aspects while downplaying or omitting others. Bias can stem from political affiliations, commercial interests, or sensationalism. Analyzing media narratives involves identifying the underlying framing techniques and biases that may influence the portrayal of conspiracy theories like the frog transformation theory. 2. Source evaluation. Media narratives often rely on information from various sources, including experts, witnesses, government officials, and organizations. Analyzing media narratives requires evaluating the credibility, expertise, and potential biases of these sources. Are the sources well regarded within their respective fields? Do they have conflicts of interest or affiliations that may influence their perspectives? Assessing the reliability and trustworthiness of sources helps in understanding the credibility of media narratives. 3. Context and background information. Media narratives should provide context and background information to help the audience better understand the subject matter. Analyzing media narratives involves assessing whether important contextual details are included or omitted. Are historical, scientific, or socio-political factors adequately addressed? A lack of comprehensive context can contribute to the misinterpretation or distortion of conspiracy theories. 4. Objectivity and balance. Media narratives ideally strive for objectivity and balance, presenting multiple perspectives and providing a fair representation of the available evidence. Analyzing media narratives involves assessing whether different viewpoints are presented and if the coverage is balanced or skewed towards a particular angle. Unbalanced or one-sided narratives may contribute to the propagation and acceptance of conspiracy theories. 5. Fact-checking and accuracy. Verifying the accuracy of information presented in media narratives is essential. Analyzing media narratives requires fact-checking claims, cross-referencing information with reliable sources, and identifying any inaccuracies, inconsistencies, or misinformation. Responsible media outlets adhere to journalistic standards and ethics, ensuring accuracy and credibility in their reporting. 6. Influence of opinion and analysis. Media narratives can include opinion pieces, editorials, or analysis that offer subjective viewpoints or interpretations of events. While these pieces serve a valuable role in promoting critical thinking and discussion, it is important to distinguish between factual reporting and opinion-based content. Analyzing media narratives involves recognizing the difference and assessing the influence of opinion on the overall narrative. 7. Alternative media and independent journalism. Analyzing media narratives extends beyond mainstream media outlets. Independent journalism and alternative media sources may provide different perspectives or challenge dominant narratives. Considering a range of media sources, including those outside mainstream channels, helps gain a broader understanding of the narratives surrounding conspiracy theories like the frog transformation theory. By critically analyzing media narratives, individuals can develop a more nuanced and informed perspective on conspiracy theories. This involves recognizing framing techniques, evaluating source credibility, fact-checking claims, and seeking diverse viewpoints. Media literacy skills are crucial in navigating the complexities of media narratives, empowering individuals to engage critically with the information they encounter and make well-informed judgments about conspiracy theories and other topics of public interest. 8.3 Strategies to discredit or dismiss conspiracy claims. When it comes to conspiracy claims, there are strategies employed by various entities to discredit or dismiss them. These strategies aim to undermine the credibility of conspiracy theories, challenge their validity, or create doubt in the minds of the public. It is important to understand these strategies to critically evaluate information and form well-informed opinions. Here are some common strategies used to discredit or dismiss conspiracy claims. 1. Labeling as conspiracy theories. One strategy is to label certain claims as conspiracy theories, to discredit them. This labeling often carries negative connotations, associating the claims with irrationality, unfounded beliefs, or paranoid thinking. While some claims indeed fall into these categories, it is essential to objectively evaluate evidence rather than dismissing claims solely based on their categorization as conspiracy theories. 2. Ridicule and mockery. Ridiculing and mocking conspiracy claims is another strategy employed to discredit them. This approach seeks to diminish the claims by portraying them as absurd, irrational, or laughable. However, it is important to distinguish between legitimate skepticism and baseless ridicule. Responsible analysis should focus on evidence, logical reasoning, and critical examination of the claims rather than resorting to mockery. 3. Appeals to authority. Discrediting conspiracy claims by appealing to authoritative sources is a common strategy. This involves highlighting the consensus among experts or official statements from government agencies, scientific organizations, or other reputable institutions that reject or dismiss the claims. While expert opinions are valuable, it is crucial to consider the potential for biases, conflicts of interest, or the influence of institutional narratives on their perspectives. 4. Dismissing as lack of evidence. The absence of definitive evidence is often used to dismiss conspiracy claims. Skeptics argue that if there is no substantial evidence to support a claim, it should be rejected. While evidence is indeed important, it is essential to consider the challenges in obtaining evidence for complex and secretive operations. Additionally, the lack of evidence does not necessarily disprove a claim, as some conspiracy theories rely on hidden or suppressed information. 5. Associating with debunked claims. Some conspiracy claims are discredited by associating them with already debunked or discredited theories. By linking them to discredited claims, skeptics aim to discredit the new claims based on guilt by association. While evaluating conspiracy claims, it is important to assess them on their own merit, considering the specific evidence and arguments presented, rather than relying solely on associations. 6. Highlighting logical fallacies or inconsistencies. Pointing out logical fallacies or inconsistencies in conspiracy claims is a strategy employed to discredit them. This involves identifying errors in reasoning, contradictory claims, or flawed evidence within the conspiracy narrative. It is important to critically evaluate such fallacies or inconsistencies, but also to apply the same level of scrutiny to counterarguments, or mainstream narratives. 7. Addressing psychological factors. Another approach to discrediting conspiracy claims is to attribute them to psychological factors, such as cognitive biases, paranoia, or the need for control. While psychological factors can indeed influence belief formation, it is important to avoid generalizations or dismissive assumptions. A balanced assessment requires considering both psychological factors and the actual evidence supporting or challenging the claims. It is crucial to approach the evaluation of conspiracy claims and the strategies used to discredit them with an open mind, critical thinking, and a commitment to evidence-based analysis. Evaluating claims based on their own merits, seeking multiple perspectives, fact-checking information, and considering the credibility and biases of sources are key practices in navigating the complexities of conspiracy theories and forming well-informed opinions. Chapter 9. Scientific Responses to the Conspiracy Theory. 9.1 Scientific Responses to the Conspiracy Theory. In the face of the frog transformation conspiracy theory, the scientific community has responded with rigorous research, analysis, and evidence-based arguments to address and debunk the claims. Scientists from various fields, including biology, ecology, environmental science, and toxicology, have played a significant role in countering the misinformation and promoting scientific literacy. Here are some key scientific responses to the conspiracy theory. 1. Comprehensive studies on amphibians. Scientists have conducted extensive studies on amphibian populations, their habitats, and the factors affecting their health and well-being. These studies have provided valuable insights into the natural life cycles, reproductive behaviors, and ecological roles of frogs, helping to dispel misconceptions and sensationalized claims about their alleged transformation. 2. Examination of environmental factors. Scientists have investigated the impact of environmental factors, including pollution and contaminants, on amphibian populations. These studies have focused on the effects of pesticides, industrial chemicals, and other pollutants on frogs and other amphibians. Through rigorous experimentation and field observations, scientists have demonstrated the specific mechanisms through which these factors can harm amphibian populations, but without supporting the notion of intentional transformation. 3. Peer-reviewed research. The scientific community has published numerous peer-reviewed studies and articles that provide evidence-based explanations for the observed changes in frog populations. These publications undergo a rigorous review process by independent experts, ensuring the quality and reliability of the research. Scientists have presented their findings to respected scientific journals and conferences, allowing for scrutiny and collaboration among experts in the field. 4. Collaboration and consensus. Scientists from different institutions and countries have collaborated to study and understand the health and ecological challenges faced by amphibians. Such collaboration fosters an exchange of ideas, data, and methodologies, strengthening the scientific consensus on the causes of amphibian declines and debunking the idea of intentional frog transformation. The consensus among experts in the field reinforces the credibility of scientific responses to the conspiracy theory. 5. Science communication and outreach. Scientists have actively engaged in science communication and public outreach initiatives to educate the general public about amphibian biology, environmental issues, and the scientific process. Through public lectures, workshops, articles, and online resources, scientists have aimed to bridge the gap between scientific knowledge and public understanding. By promoting scientific literacy, critical thinking, and evidence-based reasoning, they contribute to countering misinformation and conspiracy theories. 6. Debunking misinformation. Scientists have addressed specific claims made within the frog transformation conspiracy theory and provided evidence-based refutations. They have emphasized the lack of scientific evidence supporting intentional frog transformation, highlighting alternative explanations grounded in ecological and environmental factors. Through clear and accessible explanations, scientists have debunked the misconceptions propagated by the conspiracy theory. 7. Engaging with skeptics. Some scientists have actively engaged with skeptics and individuals who believe in the conspiracy theory. By patiently addressing their concerns, providing evidence, and promoting open dialogue, scientists have sought to build trust, challenge misconceptions, and foster a more constructive understanding of the complex issues surrounding amphibian declines. Scientific responses to the frog transformation conspiracy theory have relied on rigorous research, peer-reviewed studies, collaboration, and effective science communication. By providing evidence-based explanations, scientists have contributed to debunking the claims, promoting scientific literacy, and countering the spread of misinformation. Their efforts help foster a more informed and rational understanding of the factors affecting amphibians and the environment as a whole. 9.2 Critiques of methodology and lack of evidence. Within the scientific community, critiques of the methodology and lack of evidence supporting the frog transformation conspiracy theory have been raised. Scientists have examined the claims made within the theory and identified significant shortcomings in the methodology and evidence put forth by its proponents. Here are some key critiques. 1. Lack of reproducible studies. A fundamental aspect of scientific research is the ability to replicate and reproduce experimental findings. Critics of the conspiracy theory argue that the studies supporting intentional frog transformation have not been replicated by independent researchers. Without independent verification of the results, the claims lack scientific credibility. 2. Insufficient sample sizes. Scientific studies require sufficient sample sizes to ensure statistical significance and reliable conclusions. Critics have pointed out that the studies cited by proponents of the conspiracy theory often have small sample sizes, limiting the generalizability of their findings. This raises concerns about the robustness and reliability of the results presented. 3. Lack of controlled experiments. Controlled experiments are essential for establishing cause and effect relationships. Critics note that many studies supporting intentional frog transformation are observational in nature, lacking proper controls and experimental designs. Without controlling for confounding variables and conducting controlled experiments, it becomes challenging to draw definitive conclusions or attribute the observed changes solely to intentional transformation. 4. Absence of direct evidence. Critics highlight the absence of direct evidence linking intentional frog transformation to government actions. Proponents of the conspiracy theory often rely on circumstantial evidence, anecdotal accounts, or speculative interpretations of events. However, the lack of direct evidence linking specific government actions to intentional transformation undermines the credibility of the claims. 5. Alternative explanations. Scientists have put forth alternative explanations to account for the observed changes in amphibian populations. These explanations focus on ecological factors, pollution, habitat loss, climate change, and disease as the primary drivers of amphibian declines. Critics argue that these alternative explanations align more closely with the available scientific evidence, making the conspiracy theory unnecessary to explain the observed phenomena. 6. Publication bias and selective reporting. Critics have raised concerns about publication bias and selective reporting within the field of conspiracy theories. The tendency to publish and promote studies that support a particular narrative, while ignoring contradictory evidence, can introduce bias and undermine the integrity of the scientific process. It is essential to consider a wide range of studies and perspectives to avoid confirmation bias. 7. Lack of consensus. While the scientific community acknowledges the decline of amphibian populations as a genuine concern, there is no scientific consensus supporting the frog transformation conspiracy theory. Critics argue that the lack of consensus among experts in the field further questions the validity and reliability of the theory. It is important to note that critiques of methodology and lack of evidence do not dismiss the need for continued scientific research and investigation into the health and conservation of amphibians. Scientists strive for robust methodologies, large sample sizes, controlled experiments, and rigorous peer review processes to ensure the reliability and validity of their findings. By addressing methodological flaws and emphasizing the importance of evidence-based approaches, scientists contribute to the scientific discourse surrounding conspiracy theories and help promote a more grounded understanding of the issues at hand. 9.3 Logical fallacies in conspiracy arguments. Logical fallacies are errors in reasoning that undermine the validity and coherence of arguments. Within conspiracy theories, logical fallacies are often present in the arguments put forth by proponents of the theory. Scientists have identified several common fallacies within conspiracy arguments related to the frog transformation theory. Here are some key logical fallacies. 1. Post hoc ergo propter hoc. False cause. This fallacy assumes that because one event precedes another, it must be the cause of the subsequent event. In the context of the frog transformation theory, proponents may argue that the presence of certain chemicals in water sources and the observed changes in amphibian populations prove intentional transformation. However, this ignores other potential causes, such as pollution, habitat loss, or disease, and wrongly assumes a cause and effect relationship without sufficient evidence. 2. Appeal to ignorance. This fallacy occurs when an argument is based on the lack of evidence or lack of refutation. Proponents of the conspiracy theory may argue that since there is no definitive evidence disproving intentional frog transformation, it must be true. However, this ignores the burden of proof, which rests on the proponents of the theory to provide substantial evidence supporting their claims. 3. Cherry picking. Cherry picking involves selectively choosing evidence that supports a particular argument, while ignoring contradictory evidence. Proponents of the conspiracy theory may highlight isolated instances of deformed frogs or abnormalities as proof of intentional transformation, while disregarding the broader scientific consensus and evidence that points to other ecological factors as the primary cause of amphibian declines. 4. Argument from authority. This fallacy relies on citing an authority figure or expert as evidence to support a claim. Proponents of the conspiracy theory may refer to individuals who claim to possess insider knowledge or alternative expertise to support their claims. However, it is important to critically evaluate the credibility, qualifications, and potential biases of these authorities and consider the broader scientific consensus within the relevant fields. 5. Straw man. The straw man fallacy involves misrepresenting or distorting an opponent's argument to make it easier to attack. Critics of the frog transformation theory may accuse proponents of proposing a vast, coordinated effort by governments to intentionally transform frogs, while the actual scientific arguments focus on environmental factors and natural ecological processes. By misrepresenting the argument, critics can dismiss it more easily without addressing the core claims. 6. Hasty generalization. This fallacy involves drawing broad conclusions based on limited or insufficient evidence. Proponents of the conspiracy theory may extrapolate from a few isolated instances of abnormalities in amphibians to claim a widespread intentional transformation. However, such generalizations ignore the complexities of amphibian biology, population dynamics, and the need for robust evidence to support broad claims. 7. Ad hominem. Ad hominem fallacies involve attacking the character, motives, or personal traits of an individual instead of addressing the substance of their arguments. Critics of the frog transformation theory may resort to attacking the credibility or motives of proponents instead of engaging with the scientific evidence and logical reasoning presented. Ad hominem attacks divert attention from the core arguments and hinder productive scientific discourse. By identifying and highlighting logical fallacies within conspiracy arguments, scientists aim to promote critical thinking, logical reasoning, and evidence-based analysis. Recognizing these fallacies helps to challenge and counter flawed arguments and encourages a more nuanced understanding of the issues at hand. It is essential to engage in respectful and evidence-based discussions that focus on the substance of the arguments rather than falling prey to fallacious reasoning. 10.1 Attitudes towards government conspiracies. Attitudes towards government conspiracies, including the frog transformation theory, vary among individuals and are shaped by a range of factors. Understanding these attitudes provides insight into why some people are more receptive to conspiracy theories, while others are skeptical or dismissive. Here are some common attitudes observed. 1. Belief and endorsement. Some individuals genuinely believe in government conspiracies, including the idea of intentional frog transformation. They may harbor deep mistrust towards government institutions, viewing them as secretive, manipulative, and capable of carrying out covert actions. Factors such as personal experiences, exposure to alternative information sources, or a general inclination towards skepticism may contribute to their belief and endorsement of conspiracy theories. 2. Skepticism and critical thinking. Others approach government conspiracies with skepticism, applying critical thinking skills and demanding robust evidence before accepting such claims. They may question the reliability of sources, scrutinize the logical coherence of arguments, and seek empirical evidence to support or debunk conspiracy theories. Skeptics often emphasize the importance of scientific consensus, empirical research, and logical reasoning as foundations for evaluating claims. 3. Confirmation bias. Confirmation bias plays a significant role in shaping attitudes towards government conspiracies. Individuals may selectively seek, interpret, and remember information that aligns with their pre-existing beliefs or biases. Those who already hold a skeptical or dismissive stance towards conspiracy theories may actively seek out debunking information or rely on scientific consensus to reinforce their views, while believers may gravitate towards information that confirms their suspicions. 4. Psychological factors. Psychological factors, such as the need for control, a desire for certainty, or a sense of powerlessness, can influence attitudes towards government conspiracies. Conspiracy theories often provide simple and compelling narratives that offer explanations for complex and uncertain phenomena. Individuals seeking a sense of control or looking for clear answers in an uncertain world may be more inclined to accept conspiracy theories, including the frog transformation theory. 5. Cultural and social influences. Attitudes towards government conspiracies can also be influenced by cultural and social factors. Certain cultural contexts or subcultures may foster skepticism or distrust towards authorities, making individuals more receptive to conspiracy theories. Social networks and online communities can also play a role in reinforcing beliefs and fostering a sense of belonging among those who endorse conspiracy theories. 6. Media influence. The media landscape and its portrayal of government actions can shape attitudes towards conspiracies. Media outlets that sensationalize or promote conspiracy theories can influence public perception and contribute to the dissemination and acceptance of such ideas. Conversely, responsible journalism, fact-checking, and promoting critical thinking can help counter the spread of conspiracy theories. 7. Education and scientific literacy. Education and scientific literacy play a crucial role in shaping attitudes towards conspiracy theories. Individuals with a strong understanding of scientific principles, critical thinking skills, and the ability to evaluate evidence are generally more resistant to conspiracy theories. Education systems that prioritize critical thinking, media literacy, and scientific literacy can contribute to a more informed and rational approach to evaluating conspiracy claims. Understanding the range of attitudes towards government conspiracies, including the frog transformation theory, involves recognizing the complex interplay of individual, social, cultural, and psychological factors. Addressing these attitudes requires a multifaceted approach that promotes critical thinking, media literacy, scientific literacy, and open dialogue. By fostering a society that values evidence-based reasoning and informed discourse, it is possible to mitigate the influence and spread of unfounded conspiracy theories. 10.2 Memes, humor, and popular culture references. In recent years, memes, humor, and popular culture references have become an integral part of discussions surrounding government conspiracies, including the frog transformation theory. These forms of communication and expression play a significant role in shaping attitudes and perceptions among various audiences. Here are some ways in which memes, humor, and popular culture references intersect with attitudes towards conspiracy theories. 1. Satire and ridicule. Memes and humor often employ satire and ridicule to mock or satirize conspiracy theories and their proponents. By presenting exaggerated or absurd scenarios, they aim to highlight the implausibility or lack of evidence behind such theories. Satirical memes can contribute to skepticism and critical thinking by encouraging audiences to question the validity of conspiracy claims. 2. Community building and solidarity. Memes and humor related to conspiracy theories can serve as a form of community building and solidarity among like-minded individuals. Sharing memes that humorously reference conspiracy theories can create a sense of belonging and shared understanding within certain social circles or online communities. It fosters a collective identity and reinforces existing attitudes towards government conspiracies. 3. Cultural critique. Memes and popular culture references can be used to critique broader cultural and societal issues related to government actions and trust in institutions. They provide a platform for individuals to express their discontent, skepticism, or disillusionment with the government, often reflecting wider societal concerns. Memes can act as a form of cultural commentary, encouraging reflection and discussion on government transparency, accountability, and power dynamics. 4. Dissemination of information. Memes and popular culture references can also be used as a means of disseminating information and raising awareness about conspiracy theories. While some memes may aim to debunk or dismiss conspiracy claims, others may propagate and amplify them. The viral nature of memes and their rapid spread across social media platforms can contribute to the widespread dissemination of conspiracy theories, potentially influencing attitudes among certain audiences. 5. Emotional appeal. Memes, humor, and popular culture references can evoke emotional responses and affect attitudes towards conspiracy theories. Humor can create a positive emotional association, making certain ideas or claims more appealing or memorable. Memes that tap into emotions such as fear, anger, or suspicion can reinforce existing beliefs or encourage individuals to consider alternative perspectives on government actions. 6. Cultural stereotypes and parodies. Memes and humor related to government conspiracies sometimes rely on cultural stereotypes or parodies to convey their messages. While they may serve as a source of amusement for some, it is important to be mindful of the potential implications and unintended consequences of perpetuating stereotypes or reinforcing divisive narratives. It is crucial to approach memes, humor, and popular culture references surrounding government conspiracies with a critical mindset. While they can provide entertainment and serve as a means of expressing opinions, they should not be solely relied upon as sources of information or as a basis for forming attitudes. Engaging in open discussions, evaluating evidence, and maintaining a balanced perspective are essential for developing a comprehensive understanding of government conspiracies and their potential impact on society. 10.3 Impact on Trust and Faith in Institutions. Government conspiracies, including the frog transformation theory, can have a significant impact on trust and faith in institutions. When individuals believe that their government is involved in secretive and manipulative activities, it can erode trust in various institutions and undermine confidence in the political system. Here are some key ways in which government conspiracies can affect trust. 1. Distrust in government. Conspiracy theories often portray the government as a secretive entity that is untrustworthy and working against the best interests of the public. Belief in such theories can lead individuals to question the intentions and integrity of government institutions, causing a decline in trust. This erosion of trust may extend beyond the specific conspiracy theory and impact broader perceptions of government actions and policies. 2. Skepticism towards official narratives. Government conspiracies can foster skepticism towards official narratives and explanations provided by government agencies or mainstream media. Individuals may become more inclined to question official statements, demanding transparency and additional evidence to support claims made by authorities. This can contribute to a general atmosphere of skepticism and cynicism towards information disseminated by institutions. 3. Polarization and division. Conspiracy theories can contribute to social and political polarization. Believers and skeptics of government conspiracies may form distinct groups with conflicting views, leading to increased division and reduced willingness to engage in productive dialogue. This polarization can further erode trust in institutions as individuals align themselves with like-minded communities that reinforce their existing beliefs. 4. Impact on democratic processes. Widespread belief in government conspiracies can have implications for democratic processes. If a significant portion of the population distrusts the government and believes in the intentional manipulation of information, it can undermine the functioning of democratic institutions. Citizens may become disillusioned and disengaged from political processes, leading to decreased participation and potential challenges to democratic governance. 5. Media and information ecosystem. Government conspiracies can contribute to a broader sense of skepticism towards the media and information sources. Individuals may be more likely to seek out alternative media outlets or sources that align with their beliefs, further polarizing their views and reducing exposure to diverse perspectives. This fragmentation of information ecosystems can hinder constructive dialogue and exacerbate existing divisions. 6. Impact on public health and policy. In cases where government conspiracies relate to public health or environmental issues, such as the frog transformation theory, the erosion of trust in institutions can have real-world consequences. Skepticism towards government agencies responsible for public health regulation or environmental protection may undermine efforts to address genuine concerns and implement effective policies. Addressing the impact of government conspiracies on trust and faith in institutions requires transparent and accountable governance, open dialogue, and efforts to rebuild public confidence. Government agencies, media organizations, and public figures can play a crucial role in fostering transparency, promoting accurate information, and engaging with citizens to rebuild trust. Emphasizing the importance of critical thinking, media literacy, and civic education can empower individuals to navigate complex information landscapes and make informed judgments about government actions and conspiracy claims. Conclusion. Throughout this book, we have explored the controversial theory that the government is intentionally turning frogs gay, known as the frog transformation conspiracy. We delved into the various aspects of this theory, including its emergence, influential figures, social media's role in promoting it, historical context, motivations for controlling nature, and the impact of chemicals on wildlife. We examined the scientific consensus and controversies surrounding the theory, as well as the effects of pollutants on amphibians and their potential implications for human health. We also explored the role of government agencies, regulations, and allegations of collusion and cover-ups. Furthermore, we discussed the influence of media, memes, humor, and popular culture references on attitudes towards government conspiracies. We analyzed the scientific responses to the conspiracy theory, critiques of methodology, and logical fallacies often present in conspiracy arguments. Lastly, we examined attitudes towards government conspiracies and their impact on trust and faith in institutions. We recognized the potential polarization, division, and skepticism that can arise, as well as the implications for democratic processes, the media and information ecosystem, and public health and policy. It is important to note that the frog transformation conspiracy lacks scientific evidence and is widely regarded as unfounded. However, understanding the factors contributing to the spread and acceptance of such conspiracy theories is essential for addressing their influence on society. Moving forward, it is crucial to foster critical thinking, scientific literacy, and media literacy among individuals. Promoting transparent and accountable governance, ensuring access to accurate information, and encouraging open dialogue can help rebuild trust in institutions and counter the proliferation of unfounded conspiracy theories. As we conclude this exploration of the frog transformation conspiracy, let us reflect on the importance of informed discourse, evidence-based reasoning, and the collective responsibility to navigate a complex world filled with misinformation. By doing so, we can foster a society that values truth, critical thinking, and the pursuit of knowledge. Appendix. Glossary of terms. 1. Government conspiracies. The belief or theory that the government, or specific government agencies, are engaged in secretive and manipulative activities to deceive the public or further hidden agendas. 2. Frog transformation theory. The conspiracy theory that suggests the government is intentionally altering the biology of frogs, specifically their sexual orientation, through the use of chemicals or other means. 3. Endocrine disruptors. Substances that interfere with the normal functioning of the endocrine system, which regulates hormone production and distribution in living organisms. 4. Social media. Online platforms and websites that allow users to create and share content, engage in social networking, and participate in virtual communities. 5. Memes, cultural symbols, images, or ideas that are spread rapidly and widely through the internet, often with humorous or satirical intent. 6. Media narratives, the storylines, perspectives, and interpretations presented by the media on specific topics or events. 7. Scientific consensus, the collective agreement among the scientific community on a particular topic or theory, based on rigorous research, evidence, and peer-reviewed studies. 8. Logical fallacies, errors in reasoning that may lead to invalid or unsound arguments, such as ad hominem attacks, straw man arguments, or false cause fallacies. Additional resources for further exploration. 1. Conspiracy Theories and the People Who Believe Them, by Joseph E. Osinski. 2. The Psychology of Conspiracy Theories, edited by Michael J. Wood, Karen M. Douglas, and Robbie M. Sutton. 3. Voodoo Histories, The Role of Conspiracy Theory in Shaping Modern History, by David Aronovich. 4. Conspiracy Theories, A Critical Introduction, by Jovan Byford. 5. Network Propaganda, Manipulation, Disinformation, and Radicalization in American Politics, by Yochai Benkler, Robert Ferris, and Hal Roberts. These resources provide further insights into the psychological, social, and historical aspects of conspiracy theories, as well as the role of media and disinformation in shaping public opinion. They offer a comprehensive understanding of the phenomenon and encourage critical thinking when evaluating conspiracy claims. It is important to approach these resources with an open mind and a willingness to engage in thoughtful analysis and discourse. Continually seeking reliable and evidence-based information is crucial in navigating the complex landscape of conspiracy theories and their impact on society.